Riddle me this, riddle me that. Seth MacFarlane is a proponent of journalists. He'll defend them to the death, but he doesn't think you should have your right to opine. The guy responsible for this?
Powers are weak, old man. Obi-Wan!
Boy, you got here just in time.
I'll see you on the other side.
I need a Jew. It's back the way you came.
Oh, God, he's so...
Minority suspect. Minority suspect.
This is Harry, the homosexual.
Oh, look, Joe's feeding them pennies.
It's hard to believe she's already 18.
Welcome back, welcome back. Seth MacFarlane shills for mainstream media, says he would defend to the death the presence and existence of journalists, as he claims Fox News are in it for the money. And I don't watch cable news. I quit watching cable television almost 2 years ago now. I haven't watched cable news in longer than that. But I'm well informed enough to know I sure as hell don't trust any of those cable news bobblehead talking pundits. What is up? We're going to talk about this article here. You guys know I do a lot of the Family Guy impressions, including Cleveland Brown and
Glenn Quagmire, I do giggity do that one too.
And of course, it's kind of easy to do Joe Swanson because I have a tremendously large upper body, but I skip leg day rather frequently, Peter. But no, I'm a fan of Family Guy and the Cleveland Show, and to a lesser extent, American Dad. I love the Orville. Seth MacFarlane, though, what a douchebag. I'm sorry, folks. I try, going into year 5 here on the channel. I should have, I should have matured a little bit past this, but it's just these people make it so difficult not to just want to just verbally dress them down for their stupidity.
You stupid idiot.
That's why I don't watch Family Guy. I quit watching Family Guy probably, other than like clips or an episode here and there, like where it was like I have to see the show, because it used to be like that. Family Guy was one of those shows. It's like I never missed it. But I quit watching, I want to say like 2015, because I was just like, I'm done. It's just not, there's been a few episodes here and there. Same thing with South Park. I quit watching South Park in like 2016, 2017, around there. I'll go back and watch the older stuff, but let's talk about this article in Seth. The Family Guy and Orville creator Seth MacFarlane has made several ludicrous statements in the past regarding pretty much any subject that helps him push his left-wing ideas. So it shouldn't come as a surprise to see him blatantly shilling for mainstream media journalists. And as somebody who has been extremely hard on the idiots from Kotaku who have been let go on Twitter and such, these people deserve it, because all you want to do is play a video game, and they tell you why you're a shitty person for not liking garbage titles. And this is why. Why? It took me so long to get back into modern gaming. Up until my son got his Switch for Christmas 2 years ago, the newest system I had was a PS2 and my N64, and there's a Sega Genesis right here and an NES Classic. I was fine with that. I played some GTA, Madden, No Mercy, especially No Mercy, a lot of No Mercy on the 64. And then, hockey, basketball, and some other stuff on my Sega, games that I grew up playing and, that I love. And it's these journalists, that in a resurfaced interview with rapper Logic, Sir Robert Bryson Hall II, MacFarlane praised journalists who have earned a college degree as he unashamedly singles out Fox News and claims they're only in it for the money. Agreeing to everything Hall said about journalists who declared social media comes in, and I think these journalists are fucking incredible. Seth MacFarlane doesn't like social media because it gives a voice to people who didn't go to college for journalism.
Fuck you!
This is from Myth Informed.
America!
baby, I can't believe, if you will, daddy, that I missed the opportunity to do a Dusty Rose, the American Dream impression for y'all, baby, and say the name misinformed, daddy. That's right. Now, if you excuse me, if you will, I'm gonna toss it back to the host with the most, baby, Etep. Now stay up, y'all, and stay away from them hard times, daddy.
If you didn't go to college for journalism, you don't have an opinion. You shouldn't have an opinion. Well, I have a college degree, Seth. It might not be in journalism, it's in something useful.
My great-great-great-granddaddy was a pimp. I'm talking about pimping since pimping.
Of this man to say, and he sounds so pretentious. That's the thing, is his character on the Orville, and this is part of separating the art from the artist. His character on the Orville is, I always thought he was likable, you know? And then you listen to the man talk, and it's like, oh, he's just a pretentious fucking douchebag, you know? And that's truthfully what he is. If somebody who writes an entire article, yeah, see, we listened to this. If somebody who writes an entire article about how much you suck, but they fucking went to college, got a degree, earned it, and take the time to go through all the things they don't particularly like about it. Amazing, he said, adding, but when you give that same power to every person in the universe with a Twitter account, has that ever affected you, Logic asked MacFarlane. And MacFarlane replied, you just said it more eloquently than I ever could. It is true. I will defend this quote right here. I will defend to the death the presence of and existence of journalists.
I'll just ring your call button and Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer because you're a retard.
The way I look at it, when you look at the New York Times article on Instagram and you look at the headline and you read it and you click on the link and you read the story, the Family Guy creator continued, he elaborated, that story, whether you agree with it or not, whether you connect with it or not, has been written by somebody who did the research, did the work, did the footwork, who put the hours in to at least make an attempt to communicate the truth to their audience. And yeah, they're not perfect, you know, MacFarlane continued adding. They're not Fox, before he was interrupted by the interviewer who said, so they're just their opinion, to which MacFarlane agreed, noting, they're not perfect. If they make a mistake, and they do make their share of mistakes, there are retractions. There are admissions of that. No.
That's 100% a lie.
Has a mainstream journalist printed, when was the last time they printed and the retraction or apology or admission that they were wrong? When has that ever made front page news? He says, that's what separates Fox News, he added, as he continued the comment he was about to make before being interrupted, claiming, Fox News is in it for the dough. That's as simple as I can put it. And like I said, if they're just in it for the dough, then so is the other ones, CNN and MSNBC. All these cable news companies are trash. I mean, they're all owned by the same, conglomerate, so they're all garbage. The Orville creator further asserted, they're in it for the money, and they make a lot of money, and they get a lot of viewers. Is it worth it? To me, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
Liar!
Even more interesting, albeit unsurprising, given how irredeemably woke he is, and I don't like to use that word. I don't use the woke word anymore. I'm quoting the article, folks. MacFarlane went on to propose that news articles should not allow readers to leave a comment under the informative written piece they just read, because it may alter their perception of it. Oh my God. So Seth is pro-censorship then. He is pro-censorship and anti-First Amendment. That's what that is. I mean, you're censoring people's opinions because they interfere with the journalists who did their footwork. What, by typing some... It's not like journalists are out pounding the pavement anymore with a fedora and a pencil behind their ear, going, did you get the story, see? What did they say, see? Did we talk to Sally down at the diner? No. They're fucking going... looking on Twitter or some shit. It's not like, If you do research, it's done in your computer, I mean, yeah, you're going to do interviews occasionally, but I mean, let's face it. They're Skype calls now, When you look at legitimate journalism, I should put quotes around legitimate journalism. I just go back to what I said. You look at a New York Times article on Instagram, you look at the comments, and everyone thinks they're an expert. Everybody thinks they know better than the person who did the legwork. Everybody thinks they know better than the person who put in the hours, did the research, did the interviews, did the follow-up, did the best they could to make sure that everything that they put into print is factual. And maybe they missed something. Maybe they fucked up, but they did their best. He then declared, and then, you know me, Johnny Spaghetti stain on his shirt writes a comment, "That's bullshit." It's shocking to me that any press outlet they consent to comments under there. See, they consent. How dare they consent to comments? How dare they let the plebs speak? Like, this is very elitist. Very, very coastal elite douchebag Seth MacFarlane just showing the colors right here. Because there are studies that have shown if you read an article on social media, you process it a certain way. Once you read the comments and you start absorbing the inevitable extremism, there is another buzzword, extremism, that comes with the comments, kind of reduce that back to black and white. Your perception of how the article is affected. He went on. Then you go back to the original article and you look at it in a more extreme, more polarized way, seemingly failing to realize that he's advocating for censoring free speech. And that's correct. He is advocating for censorship of your First Amendment right. Marxists like Seth MacFarlane, they don't want you to have those rights. Of course, this is not the first time the Family Guy creator has taken the time of his day to openly criticize Fox News. In September 2021, MacFarlane aired his grievances against conservative political commentator Tucker Carlson. At the time, the then Fox News host called out Democrats for demanding COVID-19 mandates while still advocating for abortion, specifically noting they had abandoned their my body, my choice argument, asserting the very same people who have told us for decades now that it's my body, my choice, and seem to mean it when they say it, abandoned their argument immediately when COVID arrived. Suddenly, on a dime, they turned and they were demanding that we wear the mask and get the jab. But these were not optional suggestions, Carlson pointing out they weren't deeply personal decisions to be made according to the dictates of the individual conscience after consulting with family, physicians, and clergy. No, not at all. He elaborated. They were mandates. All of a sudden, Democrats were arguing that these politicians do get to decide what you do with your body. It's their choice, not yours. Inject these powerful drugs, whether you want to or not, because we own you. In response to Carlson's commentary, here's what MacFarlane said on Twitter. Tucker Carlson has defended counterfeit jab cards, compared mask and jab mandates to my body, my choice, and suggested those working to stop the coup should be punished severely. Oh, also, Peter Griffin can't say, "God damn."
What a story, Mark.
Just a few weeks later, during an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel, the Orville creator once again talked about Fox News, and the pair discussed a short animated sketch MacFarlane did to raise COOF awareness through using the characters on Family Guy. Yeah, here's a snippet of that right now.
COVID vaccine anyway.
Peter, it's COVID. You should know how to say it. It's been well over a year.
I'm glad you did that, Kimmel told MacFarlane in reaction to his Family Guy COOF PSA.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
This is why I swear to you, I can't stand these people anymore. It's so difficult to deal with. You know, you like a show, you like a movie, and then it's like the creators start, you see them on Twitter, and I mean, by now everything's out in the open. We know who these people are, and this is why I avoid their garbage now. And just, I own physical media, so I can go back and watch the old stuff, you know, so at least I have that. I don't have to deal with this. So what do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe. We have a lot of people watching, but, you know, still missing a chunk of that in subscribers, so let's get across 2,000. Look, we've been playing this game long enough. Let's get around the 2,000 mark. If you're inclined to join and help support the channel that way, $2.99, $4.99. If not, just subscribe. It's free. It always will be. I'm Etep from the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all these. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I will catch you on the next one. Remember,
It's better to burn out than to fade away.